check. Yo, 1, 2.
Welcome to Sway's Stage. Behind every great DJ is a deep understanding of rhythm, timing, and storytelling. Today, Raj Smooth take us behind the turntables for a hands-on masterclass exploring the science and soul of beat mixing. Please welcome Raj Smooth.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? No? 1, 2. Hey, can y'all hear me? Hello? We're getting there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey. All right, can y'all hear me now? How y'all doing? Welcome, y'all, to the Sway Stage. My name is DJ Raj Smooth. I'm born and raised right here in New Orleans, Louisiana. I've been DJing since I was 13 years old and started in 1990. So I've been doing this for a while. Been blessed enough to never have a day job. I've been DJing since high school and been able to make a living and feed my family doing it. So Essence asked me to come in today, show y'all some things that I tend to do when I'm DJing parties or different events, and a little bit of my philosophy of how I approach DJing parties and stuff. So when I first started DJing, I think like my early inspirations, like I came up in the 80s when, you know, hip hop was still kind of new. The DJs were like the main focus of the group. So you had like Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. You had Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. And I always thought that it was cool what the DJs were doing. Also being young, I've been tall my whole life. And I always kind of felt weird when I was dancing because I felt like I looked goofy. So I thought that if I went to a party, I needed to be able to do something. So if I was able to DJ, then that would give me a reason to be there and I could be cool doing it, and hopefully some girls would want to talk to me. So that kind of pushed me to wanting to get into DJing and listening to Jazzy Jeff. And there was this one track called Live in Union Square that came out where they were in the club rocking live, and Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, was hyping up Jeff, and Jeff was scratching and transforming on the decks, and everybody was like, like it was the greatest thing ever in the world. And I was like, yo, that's cool. I think I can do that. So that decades later, I'm here today to talk about how I actually do that. So when I'm at a party, I'm assuming everybody here has been to a party before, yes? Birthday party, wedding, high school dance, something. You know, Essence is a big party. We got a lot of DJs all over the place. So there are a lot of different kind of like techniques and ways that we play our records in order to make everybody have a good time. So one of the basic techniques is what we kind of refer to as slamming records, where all you're doing is really like playing one record after the other, a little something like this, and sometimes you play it a little fast. So we'll have one record going, then everybody get in the groove, and then we slam to the next record.
Bring 'em out, hey. Bring 'em out, yeah.
So that's kind of like when we slamming records, we just going real fast from one record to the next record. I think Kid Capri was kind of like the one that really started doing that. I seem to remember him telling a story about when they used to do Def Comedy Jam on the road. And as a DJ, sometimes you only get 5 to 10 minutes to do what you do. So you want to try to get as many records in as possible to make the crowd, you know, get into what you're doing and have a good time. And if you don't have a lot of time, like if you know like one song might be 3 minutes long. So if you're playing a whole song, you might only get 4 songs in a 10-minute break. But when you're slamming your records, you're only getting like 4 to 8 bars, so you might only play 20 and 30 seconds of each song, so that gives you more time to get it in. So also with slamming, something that I tend to do is mixing from one record to another. So I'm gonna start back with the same thing. So if I'm playing Blow the Whistle, I'm gonna skip to the hook.
What's my favorite word? Why they gotta say it like short? You know they can't play on my court, can't hang.
So when the hook starts, I'm gonna mix it to the record.
Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
So Blow the Whistle still playing. I got Party Up playing. It comes to the hook. that does a couple of different things where, you know, people are already jamming, they're singing the hook to blow the whistle, and by mixing in the next record, then you kind of get people like they hear it and it's like, oh, I like that song too, and they get extra excited, and then when the hook comes, it's like, yo, like, we really losing our mind up in here. So, and it's a real simple thing to do. It helps you to keep the records together, keep the timing rolling, because the worst thing you want to do is have the beat miss when people are dancing. You know, everybody is dancing on beat. Hopefully, everybody's dancing on beat. So when that next record comes in, you want to make sure that it comes in on the one so the party can continue. Like, you know, it's just not like a start and stop, you know, especially like, you know, if you guys dancing with a girl, you don't want to mess up that rhythm. So making sure what you do stays on beat is very, very important. So moving on from the mix of going in from one record to another, you kind of have the blend. So, you know, for all of my old school hip hop fans, anybody that used to buy mixtapes and stuff, where you would have the beat from one song mixing with a cappella or a different record kind of all the way through to create a new experience. So I got one mix that I like to do. It's a Beyonce song called Cuff It. If I can find it in my list, hold up. And I mixed this with a song from Michael Jackson called Rock With You, because it works out around the same tempo. And a lot of times when you are mixing records, even when you're slamming records, it's very important to kind of keep the tempo up. You don't want to go from a slow song to a faster song with more energy, because then you don't want to break that rhythm. You don't want to break the energy. You want to kind of keep it escalating up, or if you do need to bring it down, you don't want anything to be too jarring, because you want people to be able to enjoy the party and what it is that they're doing. Now, thanks to Serato, we're able to stem out the instrumental and the acapella from these different songs, because we don't really have a lot of acapellas nowadays. So this is like the blend with Rock With You and Cuff It.
I feel like falling in love. I'm in the mood to roll something up. Tonight I'm rolling something. I need some drink in my cup. Hey, I'm in the mood to pour something up. I wanna go missing.
So the great thing about this mix is they're in the same key. So it kind of sounds like Beyonce is actually singing to the Michael Jackson song.
Where nobody's been. Where nobody's been. Have you ever had fun like this? Oh, we're gonna roll up tonight. Black lights, spaceships fly.
And the breakdown happens in the right place. And also, too, if y'all know the dance, when everybody does the hand clap, it's actually in the Michael Jackson song.
At you you'll see far. At you you'll see stars. At you you elevate. At you you meet God. I feel like falling in love.
So that was kind of like a little happy accident. I was just blending them together for the tempo, and it turned out that the claps and the breakdown and everything fell in the same place, and it was just a great blend that a lot of people like. So like anytime I'm DJing and I happen to get in there, I always try to drop it, and a few people that will catch on and they'll turn around and I'll be like, yo, I like that one. So another way that we mix records together, and I know y'all see a lot of this online on like TikTok and stuff, where like people are doing like these crazy transition, and it's like, you know, doing like some little tone play, and the little chick is next to him dancing. It's like, I can't believe they just did that mix. That's cool. That doesn't happen all the time. If it was just that the whole time it was at a party, nobody would be having a party, because you're just watching whatever the little antics that the DJ is doing. So a lot of times when I'm rocking, you know, I like to show out every now and then, but I try to keep what I'm doing invisible to the overall party environment, because I want people to interact with each other. I want people to dance. I want people to enjoy the songs it is that they're listening to. So with those kind of like crazy transitions, there's like certain song links that you can do in certain directions to get a reaction out of the crowd. Now I have one of those type of like links that I do that always seems to work. And when like the last song is like a little 3-song link that I do, when the last one comes in, everybody's like, I'm gonna do it for y'all real quick. So y'all just get into the music. There's a little slamming that goes on with this as far as like with that technique. And this is something like when everybody's kind of like really just starting to get into the groove, and I feel like they're really kind of like take it to the next level, I'll drop this in. So everybody knows they get money. Come on, y'all. Right side. Now.
Hey yo, shorty, won't you go get a bag of the lethal? I'll be undressed.
Now this has a dope out point because
juice,
y'all know in Kim's verse she's like, "Shall I proceed?"
Thing I wanna do is freak you.
And then the whole crowd says, "Alright,
and
so we
I'll
gonna
be
do
doing
that."
things that you won't regret. Little Kim the queen bee, so you best take heed.
Shall I proceed? That works every time. It never fails. Like I had one of my partners used to be with me. I'm like, yo, like watch this. I'm about to do this, and I do it. And as soon as that Biggie drops, everybody's like, that's my song. And I'll do it again. I'm like, yo, I'm about to do it again, and it still works, you know. So that's one type of way, you know, just chaining those records together where it kind of makes sense for the audience and makes sense for the party. Some people might catch on to it, some people don't. I have another one that I like to do, and sometimes these happen in the ways where it could be the song titles, it could be the artist, it could be the subject of the song. I'm gonna go through a few real quick. I'm sure y'all are gonna be familiar with this record. Anybody heard this one? Y'all heard this one before, right? I'm just skipping to the hook, because after the hook is when I do the drop. Y'all feel free to sing along. Feel free to sing along. What you say? All right, we talking. One more time. So if I'm asking a girl, can we talk? This next record is what I'm gonna say right here.
Come and talk to me, I really wanna meet you.
You know what I'm saying? It's real simple.
I really wanna know you.
It stays on the subject. Come and talk to me. It's another, y'all come on through. Come on. Do your thing.
Come and talk to me, I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
I got another little chain real quick.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not.
So we got Lauryn Hill, the Fugees.
Can't hide. Gonna find
Get everybody hyped up for this.
you and make you
Yeah.
want me. I heard he sang a good
You know what I'm saying? So we staying on that Lauryn Hill kick.
heard he had style. And so I came.
We just gonna bring it to the bridge.
With his song.
All right, y'all can hit that high note right here. It's always important too as a DJ, you let the crowd get to the big parts, those big finishes before you go to the next thing. Right here. You know what I'm saying? Keeping with that same vein with the Lauryn Hill. In the same way like I went with the Fugees. do it with this. I would normally let this run to the hook, so you know people like to rap Nas's verse, but then skip to the next hook right before the bridge so we can go to the big part. Could it be, if you could be mine, we both shine.
Still living for today.
And then we'll
Walk right up to the sun, hand in hand. We'll walk right up to the sun, we won't land. We'll walk right up to the sun, hand in hand.
now we got Lauryn Hill with Nas, so I can shift it a little direction right here. So that's the way you can kind of like keep the records going and just have some type of connective tissue between what it is that you're playing and in the way that you're playing it, so that you know you kind of keep everybody on the same vibe. And once everybody gets on the with the program, you can kind of go and do whatever it is that you want. Another thing with DJing and mixing is trying to figure out how to reverse those courses, because like you don't want to put a hard break. So like if I'm playing a lot of R&B and I'm in an R&B set, I could come with an R&B song like this.
Girl, I'm in love with you, baby, and I want
Now
you
right after
to
this intro, they got a little break,
that I'm
and I can use that to bring in something different.
and I'm trying to be yours.
Hands on your head while you working on the floor. You know the mama choosing as I walk through the door. Coochie head to toe, so you know I'm getting close. But once I hit her with that flex, she gon' be begging for some more. So watch me work, hey, me work, hey, me work.
So by doing that, now we're out of the R&B, and now we getting a little bit more ratchet, and we can turn up a little bit.
Hey, hey, we in that thing. So watch me work, hey, it's your boy Mr. Rogers. Hey, hey.
Now before this part gets to the hook, I just want to make a little note. So songs have in and out parts where it makes sense to kind of mix in and out of them. You don't want to cut a song off halfway through the verse unless there's like on the Lil Kim song where it's like the yes indeed, then it will make sense to kind of like come out of that to another record. But as far as I'm concerned, my rule of thumb is that once the verse starts, for the most part, I gotta let the verse play through. If the hook starts, for the most part, you wanna let the hook play all the way through before you go to the next record. So if I was gonna mix out of this and slam it into something else, I would wanna do it before the hook start.
Hey, it's your boy Mr. Rogers. Hey, hey, we in that thing.
It's real easy to do. Just put your
Hands on my head. Party boys, we in that thing.
Hey, Mr. White down here, every fox
So now
a
we kind of
minute.
ratchet right now.
This would be the
Go ahead, you ain't gotta be scared.
badass, savage life.
Now that I'm in Wipe Me Down,
Man, you already know what it is.
before we get into this, I'm gonna start it back. Don't worry, we gonna finish this part out. So once you kind of start, even within the rap and the ratchet, you can kind of determine where you want to go from there, and that also depends on the type of audience that I'm in front of. Like if I'm in a younger audience that's a little bit more turned up, then I might go from Wipe Me Down.
We still riding on chrome. We still pulling up. Man, look, I pull up at the club, VIP, gas tank on, even on drinks on me. White, fresh kicks, fresh white toes, fresh NFL and trench bows with the crew. White.
So if I want to be more ratchet, I can do that. But if I wanted to go to something a little bit less,
Tank on, even all
Ratchet.
drinks on me. White, fresh kicks, fresh white tall teeth, fresh NFL hat, fresh bows with the grease. White man out. Wanna hit me with the heat, real recognized, real.
that's another record. It's a dance record.
Chicken laden, I've been rolling by the week. You can tell I got cake by the diamonds in my tooth. White. Now walk it out, now walk it out, now walk it out, now walk it out, now walk it out.
So we staying at the same tempo. People can still dance, but it's not quite as ratchet. So that's kind of how I approach DJing. That's how I approach parties, building it up. For anybody that's interested in DJing, my homie here just said he just started DJing a couple months ago and he's been having an amazing time. You know, find some music that you love. Also explore some other genres because you never know what type of crowd that you're going to be in front of. And you always want to make sure that whoever you're in front of can have a good time. So hopefully in the future I get to see y'all at a party I'm doing and I can make sure y'all have a good time. And I thank y'all for having me here today. Follow me online at Raj Smooth, RAJSMOOVE, at Raj Smooth, right? Check me out online. I appreciate y'all.